The stagecoach lurched to a stop in Ember Ridge, Wyoming Territory, throwing up a cloud of red dust. Inside, Eleanor Whitfield clutched her carpet bag, trembling. Through the window she saw him, Josiah McCry, her new husband of 10 minutes. 7 feet 3 inches tall, broad as a barn door, hands like shovels, face carved by wind and hardship. The advertisement had said of considerable size. It hadn't said giant. Eleanor barely reached 5 feet. 95 pounds, delicate wrists, a Boston runaway seeking safety in a husband she'd never met. Now, staring at Josiah, she wondered if she'd traded one danger for another. "Mrs. McCry," he said, voice deep as thunder. "Eleanor, you need to come out now." She froze. "I know I'm not what you expected," he added gently. "But you've nothing to fear from me." When she finally stepped out, the townsfolk stared. Josiah lifted her onto his wagon as though she weighed nothing. "My ranch is an hour out. Built it myself. Everything's sturdy enough to hold me." The ride was quiet. His letters had been poetic, tender. She hadn't imagined a man who looked like he could lift a horse. The ranch loomed against the plains, solid, oversized, everything built to fit his world. "I'll show you your room," he said, carrying her bag. "My room?" He paused, hurt flickering in his eyes. "You think I'd force you to share my bed? You'll have your own space till you decide otherwise." The room was small, perfectly her size. He'd built it for her. "Thank you," she whispered. At dinner he was quiet, careful. She noticed the strength in his hands, the way he handled everything gently. That night, listening to the wind, she wondered who this man really was, the giant or the craftsman. By morning, Josiah was already at work, shirtless in the dawn, muscles like coiled rope. When he caught her watching, he smiled. Not cruelly, kindly. Inside, he poured her coffee, hands steady despite the tiny cup. When she struggled to lift the heavy pot, he stepped close, his chest brushing her back as he helped. She could barely breathe. "You're shaking again," he murmured. "I'm fine," she lied. He only smiled and made flapjacks. "You might like those better than stew." They settled into a quiet rhythm. He worked the land, she read aloud at night. Slowly, fear turned to curiosity. One afternoon, as storm clouds rolled over the hills, thunder cracked and Eleanor flinched. Josiah noticed. Without a word, he lifted her into his arms. "I've got you," he said. He carried her to his chair, held her close as lightning flashed. "My mother used to say thunder was just the mountains talking," he told her softly. His voice, his warmth, his calm, all of it eased her fear. "What happened to her?" "Fever took her when I was 16. Been alone ever since." The next thunderclap didn't scare her. "Better?" he asked. "Yes," she whispered. "Much better." "You're so small," he said quietly. "The wind might carry you away." "Then don't let go." He looked at her, something new in his eyes. From his pocket, he pulled a small carved step stool. "Made it for you. So you can reach the shelves. If I can't make you taller, I can make the world shorter." She touched the carvings, tears in her eyes. "It's beautiful. That's how this marriage should be," he said. "Careful. Built piece by piece." For the first time, she laughed and his whole face softened. The storm outside raged, but inside, peace settled. Days passed. Their routine became quiet harmony. Then gossip arrived, 3 town women, sharp-tongued and righteous. "People are concerned," Mrs. Holcomb said. "He's such a large man." "Mistreated?" Eleanor's voice shook, but with anger. "This man built me furniture my size. He treats me with more respect than any of you would understand." The women left in silence. Josiah looked at her with something close to awe. "You didn't have to defend me," he said. "Yes, I did. You're my husband." He stared at her. "You said that like you meant it." "I did." His massive hand brushed her cheek. "You're making it hard to keep my distance," he murmured. Then don't pretend. He lifted her, slow and deliberate. Eleanor, he said softly, you don't know what you're asking. Yes, I do. Show me how we fit. That night they talked until the fire dimmed. He told her of loneliness, she told him of the life she fled. When he finally touched her, it was with reverence, not force. Every motion spoke of care, of wonder. By morning, laughter replaced fear. Was that all right? He asked. It was perfect, she whispered. Weeks turned to months. The whispers in town changed, from gossip to awe. People spoke of the tiny bride and the giant rancher who somehow made a life that fit. Josiah built her a rocking chair her size, she read aloud while holding their newborn son. The world outside might have thought them impossible, too big and too small, too strong and too fragile, but in the wide heart of Wyoming, they'd built something that worked. A love carefully crafted, piece by piece, until it fit perfectly.